Yes, yes, yes. It is not your grandpa's eliminator, that's for sure. I mean, let's talk about it a second. Then I'm gonna hop into some drafts, show y'all what the slow draft deep dive series is gonna be all about. I mean, I think this sucker's exciting. I can't stop thinking about it, thinking about how I want to play it in general, strategy wise. I mean, we get out of week one, sure, half of us will get chopped out the pod week one. But then after that, I mean, it's head to head, head to head, head to head. Yes, a lot of our guys or teams are going to be kicked out really early. Yes, that is true. But hey, those couple that, man, make a deep run is going to be a lot of fun. I mean, just think if you have a team, maybe even two, that got all the way to week 12. I mean, it seems doable. It's going to be hard, don't get me wrong. But if you get to week 12, you're taking home $2,000 already. And then they're out from every week. You're talking about quite a substantial increase because it doubles pretty much. I mean, make the finals, you're walking away with 76,000 or more. Yeah, there's only three of us that's going to do it. I'm definitely going to be trying to tackle it. All right, so this is kind of my idea that I'm going with. I got one that I'm about to run out on. You guys see, I loaded up a whole bunch of these slow drafts here over the last few days. As I'm gonna keep doing some more, and as some of these, clear out, I'll load in a bunch more. I don't know how many I'm gonna do it. At least probably close to 100 of them. I don't know if I'm gonna quite max it. But I'm just trying to do something different. I like doing slow drafts. I have to sometimes because I can't just draft all day, every day throughout the day. So what I'm going to do is my live drafting, I'm going to stick mostly to the DraftKings drafts, the big $2 million tournament over there. And on Underdog, I'm going to do a whole bunch of these eliminators. Like, let's hop in this one and see. This one here, this particular recording today, I'm not doing it live. My channel just started out. Don't really have a lot of subs yet, so hit that sub button. But here, in another one or two of these episodes, I plan on doing these live. Most of the time, it'll be around 9:30 at night, sometimes during the day when I have time. Whenever I have a handful of them on the clock. And, I would like to interact with you guys if you have questions about how I'm building the team and stuff like that. And we can get into some player debates and all that good stuff, strategy. I will say on this Eliminator, I'm kind of thinking I want to build totally different than what I build on DraftKings. For DraftKings, I'm going for the 2 million. It's all about, spike weeks. It's all about, stacking up the teams, getting a couple good team stacks, all that good stuff. On Underdog, we have less picks, of course. And while I do think the elite quarterbacks that offer you some rushing upside is definitely going to be a priority for me here, because some teams I might go 3 QBs, but I'm thinking I'm going to like my teams if, I have a Lamar or a Daniels or an Allen, something like that. And then, another backup quarterback that you feel good about still. Just gives you some extra bullets. This particular team, I did start Genty. Let's look at the board real quick. I started out in the 9 hole. What I've noticed on these slow drafts that I got going so far is I think people are pushing up Brown. I've seen Nico get pushed up. I think you're going to want some running backs here. I mean, I think we really get used to the, we can get those running backs later, the 0 RB builds and all that. Well, in the regular BBM style tournaments, we have time, we just got to scrape by at running back for a little bit. And if we can scrape by at running back for a little bit, yeah, we get those backups that, they get into the lineup because of an injury and now you got a league winner. But I don't think we're going to have that time. I think a lot of my teams, I might even go super fragile with 4 running backs that I just feel damn good about. Maybe 5 if 3 and 4 aren't guys I'm really confident with. And just, try to hit the receiver mostly with volume. Yeah, I want some stud receivers for sure. This particular team here, though, I started at the 9 hole. And you'll see, I think it's on one of my other ones that's on the clock. if McCaffrey or Genty are there around the 8, 9, or 10, I think that's going to kind of be the guy I want to target. I think as people kind of build more of these teams and they do not like the way their running backs are looking, I could definitely see McCaffrey and Genty kind of maybe moving even to the 6, 7, passing Lamb and St. Brown, honestly. I don't know. I mean, some of these guys in the second round I could see getting pushed up a little more. I mean, I would probably take Jacobs over Wilson. We'll see about Tyreek. I kind of want to see what, at least the first few weeks of camp is going like with him. I've been taking him a lot on DK, but I mean, on this one, you're going to need guys you can count on right off the bat. But anyways, this particular team, we took Genty in the 9th spot. And, Bowers was still there when we got to 16. So I don't know how I want to play tight end for sure on this one yet. I thought it would be interesting. I don't know if I'll do a whole lot of Eliminator teams with the Genty and Bowers combo like that. So I was like, all right, let's go for it. Now, I know I just said that I do want the rushing quarterbacks. But with this particular one, I think I'm going to pass on Lamar. There's always the chance we pick again at 41. Or is that 40? Let's see. Yeah, we pick again at 40. So we might be able to get Daniels to, be there for us still. But because I started running back tight end the first one, I do believe I'm going to go Rashid Rice here. Kind of my thinking is we saw at the beginning of the year last year before he got hurt kind of how they planned on using him. I mean, they were trying to keep Kelsey off of the field. They want him healthy for the playoffs. And they really almost gave Rice the Kelsey role. They ran him out of the slot a lot. They had him in motion. A lot of those same little option routes over the middle of the field that Kelsey's lived on for years, Rice was running a lot of those. And the difference was when he caught the ball, he's way better athlete than Kelsey. He's faster, quicker, more agile. And I mean, he was just eating teams up. And I'm a big Rice guy. It wasn't the horrific knee injury. It was the kind that generally guys come back pretty easy from. We got the reports already. Of course, it's pre-camp hype, but Mahomes saying that he's out there running routes and all that good stuff. I don't know. Like I'm a big Rice guy this year. I think he'll be in store for a big year, and I just envision their offense being a lot of him kind of doing what he was doing last year. You got Worthy on the outside, taking the pressure off the defense, running deep routes. You got Brown on the other side who can still move a little bit. And I mean, I just think there's going to be a lot of room for Rice to kind of do his thing like he was last year. So we're going to take him with this team. I'll kind of start Daniel, so I'll kind of remember what I was trying to do if he falls a little bit to me. If not, maybe we'll get Hurts. One thing that I think I'm going to not worry about in this particular format is stacking. I mean, normally I'm a stack team stacks, player stacks with the quarterbacks, even throw a running back on there for the team stack. I mean, I love stacking. I think it's definitely the way to go in the BBM style tournaments. But for this one, if I get it, I get it. I did the team stack with Genty and Bowers, but I'm not going to worry about it too much, I mean, I think it's going to be a lot like you want to play a cash game in DFS, and I'm thinking we want those quarterback points. We definitely want the quarterbacks with a little bit of rushing upside. It's not DraftKings. There's no bonus for the quarterbacks. In general, with it being half point PPR, quarterback scores tend to make up more of your point total than on DraftKings, where it's full point PPR and your receivers and even your pass catch and running backs are getting that extra half point for every reception. There's the bonus for the passing on DraftKings, but you have bonus for rushing yards and receiving as well. So I think making sure I'm strong at the quarterback position, making sure I'm at least 3 deep with running backs that right out the gate I know what I'm getting and I feel really good about. Some teams I might have better tight ends than others. I don't think I'm going to be afraid to go 3 tight ends and draft them all kind of late on here. If I have 2 quarterbacks I feel good about, especially those, teams that I just have 4 total running backs, but I love all 4 of them, I'm not going to be afraid to. Kind of like we talked about a minute ago, I think this was the one I saw earlier when I kind of was glancing at some of them. Puka went 7. Nico, we can throw it to the board for you guys. Nico went 8. Again, I sit in the 9 hole. And I think I'm going to take Genty again. I haven't been taking him a whole lot on DraftKings. He kind of goes that late first-ish. Some guys push him up into the mid-first over there. But again, it's just, I think I kind of want to have the opposite strategy where I do love, getting just 1 or 2, give me some points early in the years, running backs in DraftKings. And then, a lot of my teams over there, I will load up with the later round running backs because we got time, especially if your receiver room is super strong starting out. I think let's do that. Let's go Genty again. And let's see which one's next here. You guys tell me down in the comments section. Are y'all playing Eliminator? I'm assuming that you are playing Eliminator. If you are watching this, tell me what your strategy is. Are you going more for the quarterbacks, just drafting a few and seeing how they turn out and then going from there? This one we started from the 10 hole. Genty and CMC were both gone. So, I took Puka. I think I told y'all in my introductory video, I am a Texans fan. You see the Stroud jersey back there behind me. But I try not to play it with my heart, Yes, Nico's my boy, but he does get hurt every year. Puka gets hurt though too, but it comes down to, one, I think the Texans defense will be borderline elite this year. Just my opinion. I kind of know them really good. I follow them about as close as you can follow a team. And, Stroud has a lot of new weapons this year too. Yeah, Adams is there, but Puka's still going to be the main guy. I take Puka over Nico. That's what it boils down to. We flipped around, and then we got here. I was kind of debating if I wanted to go Lad, but I definitely think Achane has a chance to, possibly be RB1 this year. I mean, he catches passes. He's explosive. They showed last year they're not afraid to give him the ball on the goal line. If Hill is Hill and the Dolphins offense is humming like we know it can in the past, I could definitely see a monster season for him. So that's why I took him. It flipped around. It came to me in the 3rd. This one, I kind of was, I knew I wanted to go running back again. Had my boy, Mixon was there, Hall was there, Brown was there. I didn't really want to take Cook. It honestly was coming down for me between Brown and Hall, and it was just the uncertainty of Hall. We don't know if he's going to get traded. If he is there, how much are they going to play Allen with him? Yes, Fields might steal a couple touchdowns. I'm pretty high on Fields actually this year. That's another guy I've been wondering about. I haven't heard many of the big streamers talking a whole lot about him. Y'all tell me in the comments, are you in on Fields this year? Not to get too far offhand, but my thing with Fields is the job is safe, right? It's back to kind of like early Chicago days. None of the other quarterbacks on that team are taking his job this year. He has an alpha he can throw the ball to. They drafted a tight end who's supposed to be a pretty good prospect. He's got 2 running backs. Hall's great out the backfield catching the ball. And, I think while I'm not a big fan of Fields as a passer of the ball, I think he does struggle a lot making reads, getting to that second and third read. But, I think a lot of their offense will be based upon read option type stuff. You got two good running backs you can pound it with. You can fake it to him. Fields takes off outside, pull it down, hit Wilson coming over the middle on a slant. I can see a lot of that going on. And so, yeah, I'm a big Fields guy where he goes in drafts this year. So with this team, long story short, I decided to go Brown. We know they trust him. We know Burrow trusts him. When that offense is humming, we can see that there's plenty of points for him. So on this one, I think it's coming down to either Devontae Adams, and although I'm not going to go out of my way to team stack, it would be kind of interesting to do like a Devontae Adams and Puka type deal. If we did it, pretty much every week we could count on getting a really good score from one of them probably. If they get in a massive shootout, we got the potential for both of them. Daniels, of course, if I don't go Adams, would be the pick at quarterback. So, I kind of like to look ahead, see my 2v2s. We're picking again at 58 and 63. So one thing I like to do, especially in this format, I think, is kind of see what's there. And, when we get to those mid-50s, there's going to be some receiving options I like there. You know what? There's going to be a lot of receivers right there. So as tempting as it is to go Adams here and pair him with Puka, again, I'm going to do at least 100 of these. So I will definitely have more chances if I want to do that. It's not much, but it's a slight discount ADP-wise on Daniels. So I think we're going to go him. Get that rushing quarterback like we talked about. Started with two good running backs that I know I feel good about. Puka's going to get us some points. Now we got Jaden. 58 and 63 will probably grab us a couple more receivers unless there's just a running back that we think is a really good smash there. And go from there. Just keep building out the team. This one I haven't named yet. I'm sure you guys do it too, but especially if you're going to be drafting a lot of volume and especially slow drafts on Underdog, I did this last year. I did a lot of the Eliminators last year. I used a totally different strategy. I played the Eliminators last year and had pretty good success on them. I had a couple teams, not super far, but I think my furthest team went to like week 15. A couple others like 13 or 14, somewhere right in there. I got paid pretty decently on them. But last year I played them more like a BBM, the way we only had to be at a certain point each week out of groups of 9, 12, whatever it was. I didn't necessarily build them to just, beat one particular person. I built them a lot like my BBM teams or like my DraftKings teams where, I tried to take some of those later round running backs and see if they could come through for me or, I switched it up basically. I draft all kind of teams actually, to be honest with you. But my strategy was more so like the stacking, I guess is what I'm saying. I was stacking them up more, making sure to get those stacks because I really wanted to try to, play it a lot like I would the big tournaments. This year, with it being a totally different setup, I actually like it a lot better. I'm actually super excited about it. I told you, and it's true. I cannot stop thinking about this sucker all the time. There's been a couple of times in the last few weeks where I think my wife kind of caught me daydreaming and was like, what are you thinking about? I'm like, oh, nothing. Yeah. I'm thinking about the Eliminator. Anyways, let's see here. Kind of sticking with my theme. I think, at least right now, till I see where ADPs and stuff go after the schedule later this week, anytime I'm at a like Gibbs versus Lamb, Genty versus Puka or Amon, I think I'm going to lean running back. We'll see, maybe this is where they'll just go. Maybe they'll get a little more expensive. Not in Gibbs' case. I don't really see him jumping Jefferson. There's not anywhere else really for him to go. I think he'll actually probably stay right around there. So we're going to make that pick. And we're probably going to call this video a day, as I don't have any more on the clock. But you can see, guys, I got a bunch of them lined up here. We got a sticking with my running back theme, a Bijan Jacobs team. We got a Neighbors Achane team going. I got a Gibbs Jacob team going. There was my Genty Bowers. We got a Puka and Neighbors. A couple of the other ones I haven't named yet. Anyways, guys, tell me what you think. Give me a sub, give me a like if you would. Follow me. I got a lot coming out. If you didn't catch my video earlier today, I made what I thought was a pretty interesting case for why you should be drafting Jalen Milroe in the 20th round on DraftKings. I think it's a no-brainer pick right now, especially if you build the team the way that I talked about in the video. Catch you guys later. Have a good night.